What if your pain isn't a sign that something's wrong with you, but that something real, raw, and holy is trying to wake up inside you? Think about it. We're taught to run from pain, to numb it, avoid it, pretend it's not there. But what if the ache in your chest, the restlessness in your bones, the heaviness you can't explain, isn't a curse at all? Carl Jung, Viktor Frankl, and Friedrich Nietzsche didn't see pain as something to escape. They saw it as the path, the fire that forges the soul, the whisper beneath the chaos saying, "There is more to you than you've allowed yourself to be." So today we're not running from suffering. We're turning toward it, because hidden inside your pain might be the map to who you were always meant to become. Let's be honest, pain changes you. Sometimes quietly, sometimes all at once, sometimes so slowly you don't even notice who you're becoming until one day you wake up and don't recognize your own reflection. Maybe it was heartbreak. Maybe it was losing someone you never imagined living without. Or maybe it was something less visible, feeling numb, directionless, like you're going through the motions but your soul hasn't caught up. Whatever it is, it hurts. And most of us are taught that pain is something to get rid of. Push it down. Hide it. Cover it up with productivity, positivity, or pretending to be okay. But Jung, Frankl, and Nietzsche had a very different message. They believed that pain is not a mistake. It's not a glitch in the system. It's the messenger, the mirror, the mentor we never asked for, but might desperately need. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." He believed that pain forces us to stop running and look within, to meet the parts of ourselves we've abandoned, to awaken something deeper than just survival, something real, honest, and whole. Viktor Frankl, who survived the unimaginable, discovered something that changed how we understand suffering forever. That even in the darkest moments, there is still the possibility of meaning. That pain can break us open, but it can also break us free. And then there's Nietzsche, who looked pain in the eye and refused to flinch. He believed that suffering wasn't just part of life, it was the place where we were forged. That through struggle, something greater is born, clarity, strength, even genius. All three of them understood something many of us are never told. Pain is not the end of the story. Sometimes, it's the beginning of a very sacred chapter. So if you're in pain right now, this isn't about fixing it with platitudes. It's about walking into it with courage, listening to what it's trying to teach you, and knowing deep down that you are not alone in this. Because as you'll see, your suffering might be the very thing that awakens you to your most powerful, most present, most authentic self. Let me take you back to a moment that may feel familiar. You're lying in bed. The room is dark, but not because it's nighttime. It's dark because the weight on your chest is heavier than the blanket. And your thoughts, they're loud. Not shouting, but whispering in ways that echo. Something's wrong with you. You're falling behind. You're not enough. We don't talk about these moments out loud. We post the good days. We share the victories. But the moments when we feel like we're unraveling, those stay hidden. And yet, this is where your story begins. Not in the light, but in the dark. This is where Jung, Frankl, and Nietzsche meet us. They didn't write for people who had it all figured out. They wrote for you, in that moment when life feels like too much and not enough all at once. Let's begin with Carl Jung. Numun Carl Jung, your darkness is not a mistake. Jung believed that pain is the path to consciousness. That everything you avoid, your sadness, your confusion, your anger, doesn't disappear. It goes underground. It becomes your shadow. And when life breaks you open, that's when the shadow rises. He didn't say this to scare you. He said it to prepare you. Because Jung knew healing isn't about feeling better. It's about becoming whole. And wholeness doesn't come from light alone. It comes from facing what's hidden. He described it like this. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. That means the parts of you you're ashamed of, the memories you wish you could forget, the emotions that make you feel too much or not enough. They all belong. They're you. And when you stop pushing them away and instead ask, "What are you here to teach me?" You begin the process Jung called individuation, becoming the fullest, truest version of yourself. And often, that journey starts in pain. Fire Nietzsche, your struggle is sacred. Then there's Nietzsche, the guy often misunderstood as cynical, but in truth, he believed in human strength more fiercely than most. He saw suffering not as a burden, but as the forge where our spirit is tempered. He said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." And yes, that quote gets overused, but when Nietzsche said it, he meant something much deeper. He meant that the struggle itself, the confusion, the doubt, the falling apart, is the very thing that gives birth to meaning. You see, Nietzsche didn't believe in avoiding pain. He believed in embracing it, facing it with open eyes and a courageous heart. He knew that when we stop numbing ourselves, we begin to feel everything, not just pain but aliveness, not just sadness but truth, not just fear but possibility. He wrote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." In other words, the mess you're in, the ache you carry, the confusion you feel, it might be the beginning of your rebirth. Candle Viktor Frankl, find meaning in the fire. And then there's Frankl, a man who walked through unthinkable suffering. He survived the Holocaust, lost his family, faced the kind of pain that makes most people give up. And yet he didn't. He came out of the darkness with a truth so profound it changed the world. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." He realized that we can't always control what happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. And in that response we find our power. Frankl believed that meaning was the antidote to suffering. Not the end of it, but the transformation of it. When you ask, "Why is this happening to me?" you feel like a victim. But when you ask, "What can this teach me?" you begin to feel like a creator. Frankl's message isn't that pain is good. It's that pain can be used. That the cracks in your life are where the light might finally get in. Broken heart, what this looks like in real life. So how does this actually show up in your life? Maybe you're grieving a love that ended, and every day feels like you're learning how to breathe again. Maybe you're in a job that drains you, but you stay because fear whispers, "There's nothing better." Maybe you're just tired. In your soul, this is the moment where you have a choice. You can numb it, ignore it, run. You can listen. Ask your pain, "What are you here to show me? What have I forgotten about myself? What needs to be grieved? What needs to be reborn?" Because this isn't weakness. This is wisdom calling. Milky Way pain is the portal to wholeness. Carl Jung would tell you, the wound is where the soul lives. Nietzsche would say, suffering is the price of transformation. Frankl would add, meaning makes even the darkest night survivable. So when you feel lost, remember, you are not off course. You are in the middle of the storm that changes you. And when you come out the other side, because you'll carry something deeper than positivity. You'll carry depth, compassion, clarity. You'll carry yourself more fully, more truthfully, more whole. Let's be real, philosophers like Jung, Frankl, and Nietzsche make pain sound poetic. But in real life, pain is messy, unflattering, inconvenient. It's crying in your car because someone said, "We need to talk." It's holding back tears in a meeting because your chest suddenly feels hollow. It's standing in the shower wondering how you ended up in a life that doesn't quite feel like yours anymore. It's not always grand. Sometimes it's Tuesday. And yet, this is the stuff no one posts about. But maybe it's the stuff that matters most. Because in those ordinary breakdowns are the seeds of your greatest breakthroughs. Sometimes healing looks like ugly crying in a hoodie at 1 a.m. Sometimes meaning sounds like, "I don't get it yet, but I'm still here." And sometimes growth is just not texting them back, even though you really want to. So let's stop pretending pain has to look beautiful. It just has to be real. And that's more than enough. So maybe pain isn't the enemy. Maybe it's the invitation to slow down, to feel deeply, to stop pretending you're okay when you're not. Carl Jung would tell you that pain is how the soul calls you inward, back to yourself. Viktor Frankl would remind you that meaning is not found in comfort, but in how you choose to rise through difficulty. And Nietzsche? He'd say that your suffering, as brutal as it feels, is shaping you into something rare, someone who knows who they are. Pain strips away the surface. It reveals your truth. And even when it hurts like hell, it holds a quiet promise. There's something on the other side of this, and it's you. So don't rush your healing. Don't run from the ache. Sit with it. Listen to it. Let it become the doorway it was always meant to be. Because maybe your pain was never a punishment. Maybe it's been your becoming all along. If this video helped you see your pain in a new light, let it be the beginning, not the end. Backhand index pointing down, comment below. What is one thing your pain has taught you? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you never know who needs to hear this today. And if you want more soul-deep content on shadow work, healing, and finding meaning in the mess, this channel is your space. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being human. See you in the next one.